Hello students, hope you all are doing great. I'm Achal Chaudhary, working as an assistant professor, PBA department in St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. So today again I'm sharing a lecture on company accounts. So students, in your previous lecture you have studied theoretical concepts of final accounts and its statutory provisions and about the adjustment entries. So today we will continue with our unit 3 and we will study dividends, its types, and we will solve a numerical of final accounts. And in the end of the video, I will give you a numerical to solve and practice at your home. So let's get started. So first topic of the day is dividend. Dividend means the part of profit which is distributed among the shareholders of a company. The dividend is declared by the directors, which must be approved by the shareholders in the general meeting. So, dividend refers to a award or cash that a company gives to its shareholder, right? So, dividend can be issued in various forms such as cash payments, stocks, or any other form. And dividend is usually a part of the profit that the company shares with its shareholders. Now, rules regarding dividend. These rules are made up to save the interest of the company's shareholder so that they will receive the dividends regularly and accordingly. So first rule is resolution at the general meeting. So students, what happened that the amount of dividend and the rate at which the dividend should be paid, these all things are decided by the board of directors. So, according to this rule, Board of Directors determine what portion of the net profit earned by the company is to be distributed to the shareholders and at what rate the dividend should be given, and all of these decisions are to be made in general meeting. Then next is dividend must be paid in proportion to the nominal value of shares or in proportion to paid up capital. So there are only two methods by which you can pay the dividend. First is your nominal value of shares or through the paid up capital. So these are the two methods by which you can determine the amount of dividend. Next is your dividend to be paid out of profits only. See, dividend can't be paid out of the capital. It must be paid out of profits of the current year or out of the profits of financial year only. You can't use the capital for the purpose of dividend. Capital you can't use for any kind of these kind of stuffs. You can only use the profits for the payment of dividend. Next, in case there is a inadequacy or absence of profit, then company can declare dividend out of the accumulated profits earned by the earned by company in its previous year in case of inadequacy of profits only. If there is not adequate amount of profit, then only the company will give the dividend from previous year's profit. Next is your payment of unpaid or unclaimed dividend. Then any person claiming to be entitled to any money transfer to the Investor Education and Protection Fund, which is established under Section 205C, that may apply to the authority or the committee appointed under the fund for the refund of money that is due to him. Then next is your establishment of Investors Education and Protection Fund. So here the central government is responsible. They are responsible for the establishment of a fund to be called as the Investor Education and Protection Fund, so that in case of unpaid dividend, the shareholders can get their amount appropriately. Then next is your dividend should be paid only to the registered shareholder or to his banker. And if in case a share warrant has been issued, then it will be paid to the bearer of such share warrant or his bearer, or sorry, or to his banker. Next is a person who is registered shareholder is eligible to receive dividend and offer for the right or bonus shares. Of course, if a person is a registered shareholder, then only he will be responsible. Then only he will get the dividend. Na? Next is penalty for defaulting directors. After the dividend has been declared, it shall be paid within 30 days. When please note down this point that it should be paid within 30 days from the date of declaration of that dividend to each and every shareholder who are entitled for the payment of dividend. So in case of default, every director is punishable with simple imprisonment up to 7 days and with a appropriate fine. Types of dividend. Students, before moving on to the types of dividend, I'll just want to tell you that if in your exams the theoretical portion comes from this unit, then it can be like come from the dividend and types of dividend. So please understand the types of dividend with that same mind frame so that you can solve these questions in exam. So first is your interim dividend. It's a dividend which is paid between two accounting periods or two journal periods before preparing final accounts. So before declaring an interim dividend, the director must satisfy themselves that the company maintains a sound financial position and such dividends are to be paid out of profits which are available for the distribution among the shareholders. So students, it is very important कि पहले जब आप interim dividend propose कर रहे हो, आप declare कर रहे हो, declare करने से पहले you should be ensure enough कि आपके पास appropriate amount of profit है भी या नहीं, and in case you don't have that appropriate amount of profit, then you can't declare this interim dividend. Next is your proposed dividend. So the dividend which has been proposed by the directors in the general meeting, that is known as proposed dividend. So the proposed dividend is recommended by the director and when the same is approved by the shareholders, then it will become your approved dividend. Now proposed dividend must be paid within 30 days from the date of declaration. Please note down that it should be paid within 30 days and from the date of declaration. Next is your final dividend. So final dividend is a kind of dividend which has been declared and paid on the basis of final accounts at the end of the year. So that is your final dividend. जो at the end of the year आपको मिलता है, that is your final dividend. If any interim dividend is paid, it must be remembered that interim dividend must not be adjusted against the final dividend when the latter has been declared. So students, अगर आपने if a company has proposed the interim dividend only and they are proposing for the final dividend also, so they can't like do things like कि आप interim dividend नहीं दे रहे हो and apart from that interim dividend ना देकर आप final dividend दे रहे हो. So it can't be possible. If you have declared the interim dividend, then you have to pay the both of them. Next is your unclaimed dividend. So it's a kind of dividend which has not been collected by the shareholders. If a shareholder is not collecting the amount of dividend from the company, that is unclaimed dividend. It will be considered as a liabilities until the amount of the dividend is not collected by the shareholder. So once they will collect the dividend, then it will be considered as a paid dividend. And if they are not collecting that amount, so until that time, that will be considered as your liability and it will be shown as your unpaid dividend or unclaimed dividend in the liability side of your balance sheet. And last is your preference dividend. So the dividend which is paid to the preference shareholders at a fixed rate, that is known as preference dividend. Now let's start with the numerical portion from the final accounts. First question which we are going to solve today, that is, from the following trial balance of MS Traders as at 31st March, prepare trading and P&L account and balance sheet. So these are the adjustment, and here in the left side you are given trial balance. So from the trial balance you have to find out that which type of amount will come under which type of account. So you have to find it out, and first of all I'll suggest you, first of all try to solve the adjustment. Whenever in your questions of final accounts some adjustments are given, so first thing what you have to do is that you have to solve the adjustment first. So like first is your closing stock, that is 64,000. So closing stock will be treated by two ways. First, it will come under the trading account in credit side, and it will also come under the balance sheet in asset side. Next is your outstanding wages. Outstanding wages means the amount which you haven't paid. So it's kind of a liability for you. You haven't paid the amount, but you have taken the benefit. So outstanding wages will be treated by two ways. First, in trading account, you have to add on the outstanding wages in wages account. Next, you have to ensure that you are writing it in liabilities side of the balance sheet as outstanding wages. Next is your bad debts to be 600 and provisions for bad and doubtful debts by 5% on debtors. So first thing what we have to do, we have to go in P&L account. So in P&L account you have to add on the bad debts in the provision for bad debts. So you have to write down both of them. So first thing you have to do this. Secondly, in asset side there will be two treatment. In asset side what you have to do, you have to deduct the bad debts from the debtors account, then whatever the amount you will receive, then you have to make a provision from that remaining amount. Please make sure that you are calculating 5% on the remaining debtors after excluding the bad debts. So those both of those amount will be shown in the profit and loss account in debit side. Next is your rent is paid for 11 months, means the rent is outstanding for 1 month. So it's again a liability. So it will be shown in the liabilities side, and it will be added up in rent account in P&L account. When you are writing the to rent account in P&L debit side, you have to add on 1 month rent also. Next is your loan from bank was taken on 1st October 2016. See, first of all you have to calculate the time period. Time period कितने time के लिए आपने loan लिया है? For 6 months, right? So that means if it is shown in the adjustment, that means you haven't paid any interest yet. So you have to calculate that amount which you have to pay as a interest. So how will you calculate? As we can see in the trial balance, the amount of loan is 25,000. So, and that is 8% bank loan. 8% here means the rate of interest. So rate of interest is your 8% and 25,000 is your principal amount. So you have to calculate it according to the 6 months. The, then you have to write it down in P&L debit side, and also it will be written in your balance sheet. Next is your depreciation on machinery. So there will be again two treatment. First is your depreciation will be shown in P&L account in debit side, and in asset side you will deduct the amount of depreciation from machinery account. Next is your provide manager's commission at 10% on net profit after charging such commission. What does it mean? It means that you have to charge a commission, then you will then you will get the net profit amount. So what you have to do is you have to follow a formula, that is manager's commission equals to profit before charging such commission, and into 10% upon 100 into 10. So this will be the formula. Once you get the amount, you have to show it in P&L debit side, and the same treatment you have to give to the balance sheet, you have to show it in liability side. So let's have a look on the solution link. First, I made a trading account, and first I have made up all the adjustments in the account. First thing which I have done is I have made a adjustment in all of three accounts. Then the remaining amounts I have just put it down, like closing stock, purchases, then I deduct the amount of return outwards, then carriage inwards, then wages. I have told you we have done this in adjustment accounts, then power, and the remaining amount is your gross profit, which will we will share transfer to the P&L account. Then in credit side we have put it down sales, then closing stock we have done in the adjustments time. Now after trading account, I have moved on to the P&L account. So rest remaining all the indirect expenses or indirect income, I have posted them in P&L account. So first thing which I have done is I have transferred the trading account's gross profit to the P&L account. That is in your credit side. Then after that I have put it down here all the indirect expenses like salary, insurance, and other things. I have mentioned them here. Then the remaining amount. See, if you can see in the right side, I have made a working note. Working note says it is mentioned for the manager's commission. As I told you before, so this is the formula. This is how I have calculated the manager's commission. So after calculating manager's commission, then I will get the balancing figure as my net profit amount. And then last is your balance sheet. So what I have done is the amount of net profit which I have earned from the P&L account. So I have added it down in capital account. Then there were drawings in the trial balance. So I have deducted them from the capital account only. So after that I have posted all the liabilities and assets to their appropriate account, and this is how we have to solve the question. See students, first of all, as I have already told you that if you know how to post the entries, where you have to post down the entries, then you can solve the question easily, very easily. See, I know all the adjustment. I know how where I have to put down the expenses, where I have to post the direct expenses. So I know each and everything. So it was very easy for me to solve this question, and I have solved this question in just in 3 or 4 minutes. That's it. It will hardly take 5 minutes to 7 minutes for you also. I know in starting it will take time, but eventually when you will do practice and practice, then you will eventually start solving this type of questions in hardly in 7 minutes. So in the end, if the balance sheet is matching and you have appropriately mentioned, posted all the expenses and incomes, then your balance sheet is correct and you will gain 10 out of 10 marks in that case. Students, that's all for today's lecture. In next video, I will be continuing Unit 3. So here is the question for your practice. From the following trial balance of RAM as at 31st March 2018, prepare trading account, P&L account and the balance sheet. So this is the trial balance which is given to you. Opening stock 12,000, purchases and sales 40,000 and 86,000, discount 400, sales return 6,000, building 50,000, debtors 16,000, salaries 2,400, office expenses 1,200, wages 10,000, purchase return 4,000, interest 800, traveling expenses 400, fire insurance premium 800, machinery 20,000, carriage on purchases 700, commission 400, cash in hand 2,300, rent and taxes 1,800, capital 62,000 and creditors 10,800. So here are the additional adjustments which are given to you. First is your closing stock rupees 16,000, wages rupees 2,000 and salaries 1,200 are outstanding. Both of these are outstanding. Next, rent for 2 months at the rate of rupees 500 per month is outstanding. So you have to calculate the outstanding rent according to the 2 months. Then depreciation of building by 5% and machinery by 10%. Next is your prepaid insurance, that is rupees 200. So you have to solve this question. I hope you are clear with today's lecture, and if you have any doubts, do let me know. I will arrange a doubt session for you, or we can arrange a meeting on a Google Meetup. Thank you so much for your cooperation and your interest. Stay tuned for more videos.